Hey guys, how are you?
Hey.
So today we'll talk about the Common App essays. As you know, you have to write one long essay, about 650 words, and then there are other supplement essays. And so today, I guess the best way to explain how we arrived at our essay topic and how we formulated our ideas for writing the essays would be to interview these two amazing people who've just finished their application process and they're just starting their first year here at Columbia. Actually, just finished their first semester here at Columbia. So today I will ask them some questions about how they wrote their essays. And then from their experiences, I'm sure you will gain so much about, how you can begin writing your essays or depending on where you are, how you can improve your essay. Okay, so let's begin with the Common App, the long Common App essay, which is about 650 words. So in the Common App website, it says that the maximum should be 650 words. And what would you guys say about writing more than 650 words? Is 650 words the maximum? Can you write less than 650 words? How were your essays like?
I would definitely recommend staying under the word limit. I don't think the website will even accept words above that limit. Try to get your ideas across with the smallest word count as possible. Don't go overboard if you start babbling or if you find parts that are not necessary. Cut them. They are not necessary. Just say what you want to say, make your point, and end your essay.
True. Precision is very important here. For example, my essay was, I think, 630 words or something. So definitely feel free to use the word limit you have, as long as you feel confident about it.
Okay, let's talk about the essay. So let's see. It says on the Common App website that there are 5. There are 5 choices. The first one asks you to write about your background. The second one asks you to write about an incident. And there are other, there are many types of essay topics. So if I were a student right now, if I were a high school student, where would I begin? What theme should I choose, and where would I get my inspiration for writing the essay?
I think a lot of people find inspiration from the activities they do. The important thing when it comes to writing a common application essay, I think, is to find a good story that will highlight who you are as a person, and that would show the admissions office who you are as a person. And it's not a place where you talk about your activities per se, but it's a place where you talk about yourself. And the aim of the common application essay is to show who you are and to cover the part of the application where other parts of the application cannot convey your personality. So definitely take inspiration from what you do and try to find a story that will highlight your personality.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something that we should really stress. It's about you. It's about your personality. Who are you as a person? Who are you as a human being? You should take inspiration. You don't necessarily have to take inspiration from your activities. It can be pretty much anything in your life. You can take inspiration from your experiences, no matter what they might be, no matter how serious or no matter how stupid or mundane. You can think of the most stupidest thing. You can think of the most mundane thing, and you can still write an amazing essay about it. It does not necessarily have to be your relatives getting cancer or something equally as serious. You do not need that much dramatic effect. Just write about something that describes you and your personality.
Okay. So I guess something that may be on everyone's mind right now would be when should a high school student begin thinking about their essay topic?
I would say the summer of your junior year is a good time to start thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
summer. Like, get like, what I would advise is that you don't necessarily have to pinpoint your idea like early on in the process, but just have some sense of like what you want to do.
Okay. So just a quick question. How many drafts of your essays did you write? Like, did you just write one amazing essay? Did you just send it to the universities, or like, how many drafts did you have to write? How many people read your essay? Yeah, like.
I wrote first of all, like I had an idea over the summer and I wrote about that, but that didn't work out, so I got rid of it, and then I came up with another idea, and that one failed as well, so I got rid of that. So like I said, I was trying to find the perfect story, but I couldn't. And then later on, when application time was getting close, I just sat down and saw we had 6 questions last year. I saw the questions and I just picked the one that appealed to me, and I just tried to write an answer, and then found a story that would like go with it. So, and for that essay, I wrote about 5 different drafts. So I had to like write 5 different drafts, and there were two of my best friends were proofreading it and just trying to make it better.
Okay, how about you, Eden?
During the summer, like when I decided to like take some time and decide on an essay topic it took like I had one idea at the time that I managed to carry throughout the entire process, and that was the idea that I wrote like my essay on. For that essay, technically I only had one draft, but there were like, do not think that it's something that like you will like decide on like immediately at the moment. I had my doubts. I was indecisive about it. I thought about changing it many times, but if you have one story that speaks to you that you think describes you, then like my advice would be to stick to that.
Okay. So, so right now we're talking about how important it is to write your Common App essay based on some experience that you guys had, or like based on some story.
Mhm.
So I guess like if I were a high school student right now, what I would be thinking about would be, how did you finally decide that this was it? This was my final story, or how did you decide? Okay, this was it. This is my final draft. I think it's perfect. How do you know that this is college ready? And how do you know that it's ready to be shipped to the college admissions officers?
I don't know. Like at the end when I read it, I felt like it described me, and it really did describe the state I was at that moment. So that's when I felt happy about it, and some people were actually trying to they didn't really like my idea. They had doubts about it when I told them about my idea. But I felt really happy about it. And at the end of the day, you have to be happy and proud of your essay. And I think that's when you know it's good.
Okay, how about you, Ida?
When I picked my topic, I kind of knew that it was like right for me. And throughout the entire like between like summer and application season, I worked on it. And obviously 650 words are not enough to like describe your entire personality. It's not enough to convey all of who you are to the admissions officers, but 650 words maximum also is more than enough to give them at least a gist of like what like type of person you are.
Okay. So basically, from what I understand from what you guys are saying, is that the stories seem to be able to describe who I am as a person. And this is important because these college admissions officers sit down for months going through several thousands of applications, several thousand report cards of straight A students, or maybe just
You
high ranking students, and they see numbers and they see numbers. And what I think they want to see here is like is to see your personality shine through. They want to see that if you come to that university, that you can contribute something more than just numbers
True.
to the community, not just to the university community, but also to the community that you belong. Am I getting?
Yeah, and that's why like you want to make your essay memorable.
Right.
So when they because they're gonna read like thousands and thousands of essays, your essay you want to make your essay the essay that they will remember afterwards. And even after they read your essay, like they read other like hundreds of essays, you still want them to think about that essay. And that's when like you wrote a great essay because your personality, because you described yourself so well in that essay that they kind of imagine you. So I think that's what you want from your essay.
Yeah, like try and you will discuss this with your mentors as the CTP program progresses. But as you're deciding on your topic, try and think as you write. Try and think of like an intro that will grab your reader, something that will make them think, oh, this is interesting. Like draw them in, make them think. Make it something that they will remember. You could have the person who's reading your essay could be reading it at the end of the day. They could be very tired. They could be wanting to go home. That might not be the best time for someone to read an essay that will decide the course of the next 4 years of your life. So you need something that will interest the reader. You need something that will remember it, something that's memorable.
Okay, and so here's something that I would like to say. So more than 10,000 people are applying for that same position that you guys are applying, and more than 10,000 are, they're the best from their school. They're as good as you are in maths, in English, in sciences.
This is not meant to scare you.
No, not at all. Yeah, but this really is the reality.
It's a fact.
But I would also like to say that you guys have an amazing advantage because of your uniqueness. Because, say for example, American students that are applying to these universities, they all go to the same high schools, they all live in the same kind of societies, and their experiences are very similar. But you guys bring something unique in the fact that you are Ethiopian and you're Ethiopian students and you have very different experiences. And what these universities want is to bring diversity to their schools. They want to know that the person sitting next to me is not Galila. They want to know that this person is someone different from Galila. They want, American universities, and everyone, of course, recognize differences, and they appreciate and they celebrate differences. And because you guys are different, because you have something to bring to the table, your identity, your Ethiopianness, that should shine through. I think, for example, for me, I very much encourage you to write about your identity being something, maybe perhaps the fact that you're Ethiopian. For example, I remember writing my essay, for example, this was 3 years ago, but I remember writing about how I got accepted to the International Community School at Addis Ababa, and about how it was for me to get accustomed to different cultures, and how I remember writing about being Ethiopian in an international community, and that was my essay. And you could write about anything, but I think it'd be great for you guys to know that you guys have an advantage, although.
And I want to say something here.
Yeah.
Also, just try to again, we're gonna discuss the details of the essay and everything, individually, like Aidan said, with your mentors. But one thing you want to think about when you write your essay is the format and the structure of the essay is so different from normal essays you write in classrooms. It's more of a conversation type of thing. It has to be like a narrative, like a storytelling way. So it's not a formal essay.
Yeah, it's very
you want to be
casual.
careful. Yeah, it's very casual. You want to be careful about that.
And then I guess another question would be, and I think we've spoken about this, but where would we draw our experiences? Where would we draw our stories from? where do you guys get your inspirations for your college essays?
For me, my essay was about my hair. I know that's very like random, but it was really about my hair, and it was, I played as Emperor Theodros in a school production, and I had to grow out my hair. So it was just about that entire experience. So that was my inspiration. It was the activity I was doing at school that inspired me to write about that. So.
Okay, my my essay was about a personal experience. It was something that was really personal to me. It wasn't exactly activity related. It was something that I went through. I'm okay. I don't know how to describe this, but it was about like my religious preferences and how different that was in like predominantly Christian like society and how I adjusted to that. It had nothing. At the time, it had nothing like to do with my activities or whatnot, but it was a very apt description of who I was as a person and how I changed and how that like incident affected me like as a person.
Okay. I mean, so right now from our three very very different topics, you guys can tell that you basically can write about anything, ranging from your identity as an Ethiopian, your hair, to your socks. Or
Your
maybe,
socks, yeah.
Mm.
Like what your socks.
But like what you see from here, though, like, and I think I speak for everyone. We have to be really passionate about what you write about. If you're not like, if you don't really like the topic you're writing about, then you're not going to produce the best essay and that you want, and you're not going to be proud of it. So if you want to be proud of it, just choose a topic that you relate to, that really affects you, to get that emotion.
Yes. So this is about the college essay. This is the main 650-word essay. But now, you know how there are supplement essays in addition to the college essay. For those ones, for example, they ask you about an activity that you did that inspired you, or like that showed that you were a leader, or something like that. From what I remember,
There are many different types of.
It depends from the
supplement
college.
essays.
Yes, it depends from college to college. Where, for example, the Columbia supplement question I had to do, one of the questions asked what activities I did, like outside of school. For example, if there were like events I went to, that could be like concerts or shows, movies, anything. It was very broad. And I remember I wrote about an art gallery I saw back in Ethiopia, which was very inspirational to me, and it kind of related to my story, my interests. So these supplement questions, they're very broad, and I think the supplement questions are a good chance for you to show your other side of personality that you don't talk about in the college essay. So just try to think of the college application process in general as having different questions, so that you can talk about different things, so that you're not limited. So you can show one aspect of your life through your Common App essay, and then another through the supplemental questions.
okay. One thing I'd like to add for you guys is that especially if you're an 11th grader or a 10th grader right now, you should start thinking about how you should distinguish yourself. So again, as I was saying earlier, you guys have an advantage because you are different from many of the applicants around the world. So your story is going to come out as being unique. It will stand out because they don't read a lot of essays from Ethiopians who have very different experiences from what these people have had. But then you guys need to know as well that there are many of you applying from Addis Ababa to these schools. So they want to know that person X and person Y are different. So you need to be able to distinguish yourself. And I remember when I was applying 3 years ago, the counselor, or when I was in 11th grade, actually, our counselor used to tell us that it was very important for us to do activities that distinguished us, that made us stand out as people, that showed a certain aspect of ourselves. So, for example, you could be involved in the science club if you're very enthusiastic about doing scientific experiments, or just learning more about science in addition to what you're doing in school. or if you're very much a a service oriented person, you should go and help out, volunteer in communities. I remember when I was in ninth grade, I volunteered over the summer, and I worked at the YWCA as an English teacher to small kids over the summer. So I'd go there and teach English once a week. And then I remember I also worked at Betizata Hospital like twice a week. I spent a couple of hours there shadowing doctors and watching surgeries and cutting some cotton. These activities are fun. They're fun. They're great, and you learn a lot from them. Like being in those environments actually help you learn about what you're going to do. Because I wanted to be a doctor, so I did things that doctors do to see if I really liked it. But things like that. So if you want to be an engineer, just go ahead. And right now, I know the internship culture in Ethiopia isn't that developed. There might not be companies who are very much willing to take you on as interns, but you should be able to find internship opportunities for the summer. Don't sit down and don't do nothing. Don't just take classes. Try and find a way to find these activities, not just for your college essay, but it will also help you develop as human beings. Honestly, you will
narrow down your career choices.
Exactly. You will know what you want to do. Do I want to be a doctor? Here, I spent the summer here, and so I'm learning. And do I want it? Do I like it? You will not only will you have great stories, not only will you have inspiring stories. It also shows that you are involved in your community, and that you're involved in your community, and that you also get inspiration about what you want to do in the future. So my advice is, find volunteer work, try and get internships, be involved in your school community, take leadership. Leadership is very important, I think.
Yes.
Can you guys speak about it?
Definitely. Some of the questions in the supplement aspect of the Common App ask you which positions, where you're a leader, explain to us. But just in general, universities, they're looking for leaders. They don't want people who are not going to be engaged in their communities when they come here. So it's definitely a personality that is attractive to people. Wherever you go, whether it's in the workforce or in education, people are looking out for leaders. So it's definitely a good compliment to you if you have the leadership positions. But even if you don't have leadership positions, just the fact that you're participating in your community and in your school is also just a good thing that complements your application process.
That's a very big plus. And considering that most schools do not have these kind of opportunities, then the best thing you can do is participate in as many as you can. Get out there, do things, get involved, and believe me, it will not hurt you. It can only do you good.
Yeah, I think this is what we have for today. We've tried. Once we're done with this, we will send you about 5 essays that we've read that
we think convey what college essays are supposed to be like.
Yeah. We'll send you some excellent essays. Some of them talk about some profound experiences. Some of them talk about cheese or biscuits or something.
Definitely.
But these essays show you that your essay shouldn't be about something phenomenal that happened in your life, something that defines you, but you can use something so mundane, so small, and turn it into an amazing essay.
Yeah.
And these essays that we're going to send you show you exactly that.
They're one of the best, and also there will be an explanation of why the college admissions office liked the essays, so that you can learn what they did in the essays, help them make the essay a really good essay.
Yep. And so now that you have your mentors, we will work with you one-on-one to develop your ideas on, for your essays. If you're a 12th grader or if you're 11th grader, we can still talk to you about what you should think about, And so you have your mentors for reference, and they will be of amazing help to you when it comes to writing your college essays and proofreading, and like just someone that you can bounce your ideas off of. So yeah, this is what we have for today, and have an amazing Saturday. See
Bye.
you.